Parents, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renaigse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go. Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, these beasts are feeding on that carcass. If only we could pour some sleeping potion on it.
You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight.
I need a bit of practice.
Watch out, Anadai!
Look at the basin and the symbols around it. Given the islanders' taste for rituals and enigmas, I think you should touch the water.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you, no?
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree. I was something else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then, the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated, and I was suddenly with you again. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire, I'm certain. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? Here, this looks like a snowflake. Snow or maybe ice. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it is supposed to evoke death. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then, the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the This stone bears the image of a storm.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then, the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated, and I was suddenly with you again.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then, the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated, and I was suddenly with you again. This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tir Fredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einon Milfrichtemann.
Ber tir to mad on Almanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tir Fredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In the second room, you have awoken the Dosentats to better best them. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of ruse and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Enon Milfrichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince him as well. Where can I find him?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then, we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Deirdre, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
My mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes, I heard about your loss, Siora. And divorced Tirce. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirce. Thank you, Glendan.
Deirdre is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I have already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Didekid and Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa'awalamseg. I hope that you will find him.
Hello, my child. What a pleasure to see someone come to us with such eagerness. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matthias and come into the light?
Not really, Father. My name is de Sardet. I'm the legate of the congregation.
Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. What can we do for you?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditions. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Val Ristel. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth.
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stone speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadek's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it. Strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted, engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
This workshop was purposely devastated.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Donkas's clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigidor and we'll find out.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalum seg.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you are a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
I understand your fear. Take some time to think and we'll come back later to see you.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We found Karadeg. You were right. He was hiding in the woods.
I know him well. Like I know everyone in my clan.
His life is in danger. Some priests from Teleme are searching for him, and they won't leave him in peace.
So they are the ones he fears.
Dunkas, you cannot let him fall into these priests' hands. He is one of us.
I know, but my role as a chief is to preserve the peace in this village. Being chased by the Renaigse probably only stirred up his anger. I do not wish to take the risk of him bringing it here.
You wish to create balance between your people and the Renaigse, don't you?
Indeed.
But how can there be balance if all those who oppose your vision are simply pushed aside?
I did not push him aside. He is the one who left and gave his support to the war he was dreaming of.
And yet, he kept the symbol of your clan with him. We found it in his house.
You are both right. I must be capable of maintaining peace, even with those who think differently. Tell him that he can come back.
Thank you, Dunkus.
Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalam seg.
Renaigse, you have returned.
We would like to talk once more about the glyphs on this stone.
I told you that I did not want to hear about this promise any longer.
You wanted to go back to your original clan, didn't you? You were hoping that Dunkas would welcome you. He is prepared to do so. He simply hopes that you will put aside the anger that is inside you.
When I left, I thought Donkas was too soft, too nice with the Renaigse. I was hoping to fight them with Bladnid. But in the end, she also chose to negotiate with them. So, I might as well go back home. Thank you for convincing him to take me back. Here, take this piece of tree bark. I hope that it will help you to chase these Renaigse away, Donegad. And I did not think I would say this one day. But thank you, Renaigse.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions. And they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iselt. Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here, and even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us, and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Anol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir.
Greenblood, my friend. Glad to see you. I'd like to talk to you about something.
I'm listening.
Remember that note we found in Rolf's office?
Of course. The one that said the recruits had been sent to different governors.
Yes. It was signed with a name I'm familiar with. Herman. Somebody I'd hoped never to cross paths with again. He was the one who founded the camp we closed. And believe me, he has done an incredible amount of damage to the Guard. I'm gonna find him and make him pay for what he's done. I know that he's in San Mateus.
This quest for revenge isn't only about what happened to Reyna and the others, is it? Very well. You can count on me. What do you plan to do?
Major Herman is posted in San Mateus. He's part of the Red Sun Regiment now. He's loyal to Torsten, but kept his head down when the coup was dismantled.
Isn't denouncing him enough? He'll be put to death for high treason.
The Guard's reputation has suffered enough from Torsten's scheming. And he has connections in high places. I'm sure he has many supporters.
What are you getting at? Are you going to kill him yourself? If he's well connected, the Mother Cardinal will surely hear about it. And I doubt she'd be pleased.
I know. That's the whole problem. We need to get rid of him without anyone finding out.
If Petrus were here, he would probably tell us to do the exact opposite.
That old fox is as sly as ever. But I don't see what you're getting at.
There's a group in San Mateus that can make someone disappear in broad daylight without anyone saying anything about it.
Those mad inquisitors.
Exactly. It might not be easy to convince our good friend Aloysius, but it's worth the try.
You're right. And if we bring Petrus, he will surely help us sway the Inquisitor. I must say, this is a horrid solution. But if anyone deserves it, it's that bastard Herman. We'll need to find him, though. And he's been keeping a low profile since the coup failed.
And we've already seen to what extent the law of silence has on the Guard.
We need help. Our new commander might be able to tell us who to turn to. She knows everybody.
All right then, agreed. Let's start by going to see her.
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord D'Orsay's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord D'Orsay has been attacked.
He believes? He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes.
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events. But know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By islander, do you mean the Donegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes, a strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, milady. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path. rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the Islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. But I could show you where I was posted. The Islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Denegad?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that Islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition. But your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into again?
I am sorry, milady. But I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Dismissed, soldier. Looks like I'm going on an expedition.
Thank you, milady.
Sir de Corsilion.
Decidez, my young student, what can I do for you?
I've come to ask you about a mine near Vigigador. It was closed for a long time for security reasons, but someone has started exploiting it again.
I seem to recall that a concession in this area was sold to a Master Maillard. However, I do not recall the details of the contract. It was established by the previous government. He is a rich merchant from Serene who arrived on the island only a short while before we did. People say that he is unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous? That's an understatement. This man had some natives captured and he's using them as slaves to work in this mine.
What? Does this old brigand really think that he is above the law? We cannot tolerate such methods, but we must determine the best way to attack him. You should start by finding the deed to his property in the archives. Don't worry. We'll not let this man's behavior go unpunished. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Corsilion.
It seems as though you can't decipher the glyphs of your own people's document.
I get lost in all the legal jargon, but they have Lady Morange's seal on them. We should find her to understand exactly what they say.
Good day, my lady. Happy to see you again in such fine health. How can I be of service?
I need your advice once more. This time it's about the property deeds of a plot of land and of a mine acquired by a certain Maillard. Here are the deeds. I must admit that I understand very little of what's written, but your seal is on it.
Do not worry. This type of document is always difficult to decipher for the uninitiated. However, they are very clear. Master Maillard is the owner of a plot of land located near Vigigador. He can exploit the forest and plant anything he wants there, but it says here that he does not have the right to exploit the mine. It's even repeated in this other paragraph. Any attempt at mining on this land is forbidden.
And yet, the mine located on this plot of land has been reopened and is being exploited as we speak.
According to these documents, the mine has been closed for security reasons. This man's behavior is reckless. You should go see him. He's presently in New Serene. He usually spends time at the port when he comes. He has some warehouses there.
Ah, Your Excellency, I'm glad to see you. It seems there has been an unexpected development. The manager of the tavern came to find me. He complained of supply problems on the island, and a customs sergeant who is seizing his shipments from the continent. Clearly, neither we nor the palace gave any such orders.
You suspect that these seizures are being used to supply the contraband?
It's the only logical answer.
And you wonder if Egon is involved? Very well. I will find out. No, thank you.
Hello, Commander. Lady Desade. And Kurt. I believe I should be thanking you for my nomination.
It is your upright and honorable nature that won you this post, not I. Perhaps sometime in the future you'll curse me for having suggested your name.
I hope not. How can I be of service to you?
We're here to talk to you about a document we found in the training camp.
A letter, signed by Major Herman. He's behind all of this, Sieglinde.
Herman. Kurt, this is personal now. When will this story be finished? I could court-martial him, but you know how much certain people support him.
I know. He'd probably get away with it. Everyone loves the heroic Major. No, we thought of another way. The Ordo Luminis.
You want to have them burned as heretics?
If he'd been caught as Torsten's accomplice, he would have been drawn and quartered. Do you think that's any less painful?
I don't know if you came to look for my help or my blessing. You have both. But promise me that you'll stop seeking vengeance after this.
You have my word. We just need your help to find Herman. He's been hiding since the failed coup.
And you need help in the San Mateus barracks. Talk to the corporal in charge of the prisons. I know him well. He's loyal. He's from the old school. If he can help you, he will.
It seems to me that the Ordo Luminis keeps its prisoners in the prisons of the Guard.
In fact, if you want to avoid drawing too much attention to yourself, you could bring Herman there directly. I'll write you a letter for the corporal. Here you go.
Thank you for doing this for me, Sieglinde.
You're welcome. And don't forget your promise, Kurt.
What do you want now?
We've come to discuss something that concerns you.
Really? I'm listening.
We would like to draw your attention to a man who has confessed to terrible crimes.
Has he professed heresy? Venerated one of the demonic creatures worshipped by the savages?
Not exactly. He's responsible for many deaths, and was one of Torsten's supporters.
Who, as you know, was planning to overthrow your governor and take her place.
These truly are crimes. But they have nothing to do with the Ordo Luminis. You should denounce this man to our governor. I'm sure she'll be happy to have him drawn and quartered.
Unfortunately, this man has friends in high places. I doubt that we'll be able to convince the Mother Cardinal.
Politics. The curse of our society. I approve of your quest for justice, and I will help you as much as I can. I can't have your man publicly arrested without raising too many questions. But if you arrange for him to come to one of our jails discreetly, I'll make sure justice is delivered. The felon will receive the punishment he deserves on behalf of the glorious Enlightened.
May he always keep you in his divine blessing, Aloysius. You will soon find this man in your jail.
Anything else?
Nothing. It's all right.
Remember that the Enlightened is always watching you.
Yes?
What can I do for you?
Sir, Commander Sieglinder wrote this letter to you.
I wasn't expecting that. Even though I never really liked the Major, the Commander is asking me to do all I can to assist you in your mission. So what can I do for you?
We are looking for the Major. We know that he was posted here.
Yes, and officially he still is. But I haven't seen him for some time. Following the coup, he was probably expecting us to go after him. The only people he may have told about his hiding place are his lieutenants. Those two are his henchmen.
I see. Well, we'll just have to go and interrogate them.
If we bring him to you, can you make sure he ends up in an Ordo Luminous jail?
Do you want to condemn him to the stake? That's a bit extreme. Listen, I can lock him up, but you'll have to find a way to keep my men from seeing him.
Why's that?
All the guards in the city know the Major. If they see him brought here, they'll want to know why. And they will surely take it out on the Inquisition, which could end badly.
You're not wrong, Corporal. What do you suggest?
If you bring me some sleeping potions, I could put the whole lot of them to sleep. When they wake up, they'll be ashamed of having slept through their watch. But that's better than spilling blood.
So you need sleeping potions. Is that right?
Yes, to put my men to sleep. That would seem the best way of doing it.
Perfect. And then?
When you have your man, let me know, and I'll do the rest. Anything else?
We should go.
Goodbye.
Now that everything is ready, we should go find these lieutenants.
You're far from your regiment, Captain. What do you want?
We're looking for Major Herman. I was told you'd know where to find him.
The Major? He must be on a mission somewhere.
Don't play dumb with me, Lieutenant. I'd be sorry to see you arrested as an accomplice.
Listen, Captain. We really don't know what you're talking about. As for your threats, you're not our superior. You're not part of our regiment.
Yet we're here with your new commander's blessing. The Major is accused of treason. You'd better tell us where to find him.
Lies. The Major is a righteous man. We'd give our lives for him.
Really? Let's see you do it.
Guards, help me!
Maybe an can protect me in the...
Stick to my help! And death to the others! Move away! These are about to get back
The shadowings of our enemies.
So, are you finally ready to tell us where we can find Herman?
We'll never tell you anything.
Stop! You might be ready to die for him, but I'm not. He's in a warehouse, on the port.
The traitor is probably getting ready to leave the island. What do you want to do with these two, Kurt?
Lieutenants, you're under arrest for now. Go to the commander. She'll decide what to do with you.
At your orders, Captain.
Let's find the Major before he escapes.
It's been so long. How did you find me? Does that really matter, Major? You're finally gonna pay for all your evil, your treachery, and your schemes.
Come with us, Major Herman.
If you think I'm gonna give up without a fight, you're wrong. Soldiers, seize them!
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the up!
If you dare, may the shadow engulf our enemies!
Teach you how to dance!
Move away! Things are about to get messy!
No. What? You shouldn't be surprised. After all, I owe my talents to you.
Let's lock him up. The Inquisitor will do the rest. Kurt, are you all right?
Yes. Better than ever. You cannot even imagine how much I hated that piece of filth.
What did he do to you?
As you may have guessed, I suffered the same treatment as Reyna. The only difference is that I survived, and there's even more. Believe me, I'm glad that these memories went up in flames along with that bastard. Thank you, Green Blood. Thank you for helping me as I go through all this. I'll never forget it.
Karans. Could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go.